brushed away her sister's tear, then straightened herself as she turned to face the group gathering below. Her pointed chin jutted out as she held herself high. Raising a small white hand, she stepped forward and acknowledged the men, women, and children below, craning their necks to catch sight of their new ruler. The sleeve of her black hoopland fell back to reveal a purple silk lining that gleamed in the sun as she waved. Her tutor, Madame de Dinon, had chosen it for her to wear for her first appearance before her subjects as her father's successor, knowing the royal purple colour would subconsciously reinforce the people's support for her. The roar of allegiance that went up pleased Anne, despite her grief. She nodded to the crowd, acutely aware that the way she presented herself to the people of Brittany in these first days after her father's death would be pivotal in ensuring their support. Her hand still upraised, Anne backed away from the balcony and into the room, tiptoeing on one foot. No one must see her limp, no one would. Her father had taught her to carefully conceal the limp caused by one of her hip bones resting higher than the other. She had spent enough time accompanying him to meetings with his advisers to know that those just a step removed from power would be the first to pounce at the slightest indication of weakness. There would be none from her. She turned to Isabeau and held out her arms. The younger girl rushed into them. Anne held her tight as her sister's frail body shuddered with sobs. She stroked Isabeau's back until the girl finally quieted in her arms, her tears spent. Above her, Anne gazed at the pale blue sky filled with pillow-shaped fair-weather clouds. For a brief second, she imagined her handsome, playful father hiding behind one, waiting for her to find him. A lump formed in her throat as it struck her that those games were forever over with the man who had been prince of her heart. Swallowing hard, she looked down into her sister's eyes and offered a brave smile, one she scarcely felt on the inside. Isabeau returned her gaze forlornly. They had lost their mother 2 years earlier, with no other siblings aside from their 4 bastard half-siblings from their father's long-dead mistress. All they had left was each other. Anne gave her sister's shoulders a loving squeeze. "It is us together, Isabeau. You and me." She smoothed the girl's hair down the back of her slender neck. In a minute, their father's advisers would arrive. Now they were hers. Some, like Montauban, she trusted. Others she didn't. One fact was certain. All of them would press her to ally herself in marriage with a member of the nobility. The more powerful, the better. "How will we manage? Just the 2 of us alone?" Isabeau stared at Anne, her grey eyes wide. "We are not alone, dear one. We are together, and we both have a job to do," Anne reassured her. "We do?" Isabeau's mouth quivered. "Mine is to rule Brittany, and yours is to support me." "I'm so glad it's not the other way around." A hint of a smile played on Isabeau's lips. "I'm glad too." She said it to lessen her sister's worry, but she meant it. Her father had not raised her to play a supporting role. He had raised her to rule her country one day. "But you will have so many problems." Isabeau's delicate brow furrowed. "All the ones Papa had. Plus you're a woman." "And there's my advantage." Anne's voice rang with confidence, although she felt the opposite inside. Her position was as unthinkable as it was untenable. How could an 11-year-old girl lead a country? Yet just next door in France, less than 60 years earlier, the Maid of Orleans had led the French to victory over the English, then marched its weak king straight to Rheims to be crowned. She had paid for her boldness with her life, but the legends surrounding her grew larger each year since that grim May Day in 1431, when the English had burned her at the stake. Anne knew her advantage lay not in the wholly exceptional route taken by Jeanne d'Arc, but in the more traditional ace in Hand of Princesses. She would make a royal alliance through marriage. Her Breton noblemen were now jockeying for position. She needed to marry, she knew. There was no other way to rid her land of the French now overrunning it. But what her Breton advisers did not know was that, as ruler of her own country, she had no intention of marrying beneath her rank.